Injuries for the week. The report: Tevin Coleman will be out. River Craycraft will be questionable. Flanagan Fowles out. Debo Samuel out. Trent Taylor questionable, and K1 is out. Go ahead.
Hey, Kyle. How did Sherm look in practice this week? And are you ruling him out as well for Sunday?
Yes, he did a good job. Was able to practice all 3 days on scout team. He is right. If we had to do it, we could push it, but it wouldn't be the smartest thing. So we're going to take him into this bye week and feel good about him going versus the Rams.
What's the update with Kendrick Bourne? Is he ready to play in this game?
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne was back in the building today. Got him in the meetings. You got to get out there for our walkthrough type practice.
Because Kendrick's been in quarantine for, I guess, over a week now, will that potentially factor into his workload? I mean, I guess in other words, is conditioning a possible issue?
Yes. I mean, I'm sure he's been doing some things on his own, hopefully, just running. But I mean, anytime you're not here for 10 days and miss 2 weeks of practice, it is an issue. But we're down some receivers, so he's going to be up regardless. But we got to be smart with him.
Kyle, you guys have played pretty well on the road this season, and it's obviously weird circumstances. So when you go to like New Orleans today, you're going to be in that hotel for almost 48 hours, right? Outside of maybe a walkthrough. What is it like just to try to get the guys kind of get back into game mode, and just how is a road trip?
I mean, I love it because it's a lot of time to catch up on sleep, and if you're not sleeping, there's not anything else to do, so you sit there and prepare for the game. So I think it's nice. It's a lot easier. There's no distractions. There's no family in town. You always would like to be home with the family and stuff, but it's all football or your hotel room. So I think it helps you just lock in more and rest a little bit more. And we haven't had to play with any fans in the stadium, so there hasn't really been such thing as home field or advantage. I know we got a little bit this week. I know they're allowing 6,000 in, so obviously that'll be louder than nobody. But we'll see how it is.
Hey, Kyle, what have you learned about Jerick McKinnon? You know, you've had him in the building now. This is year three, but seeing how he's performed in your offense, and then last week, and I'm assuming this week, he'll have to take on a little bit more of the load than I'm sure you wanted him to. What do you think about his readiness to play a full game and play all three downs?
I think he's been having to do that for a number of weeks here. I think that's what set him back a little bit. I think I started after the Philly game, what happened to him when we lost a few guys and how much he had to go, and then what that led to in the next few weeks. But I've been real happy with Jet. I love him as a third down back. I love him in there as a running back. Don't want him to have to carry the load too much because that wears it down everybody, especially a guy who's had 2 years off football coming back with what he's done. But I think the way we've taken care of him here these last few weeks, I think it showed better for him versus the Packers last week. I think it'll help him this week going into it, and hope we can get some more guys back so we can take that stuff off him and get him back to using them specifically how we planned on.
Kyle, on draft day, I think you guys said that you really like Colton McKivitz. You weren't sure whether he was a tackle for you or a guard. What position was his future position? Has that started to become more clear? Are you guys now looking at him as a guard for the future?
No, I think you look at him where you need him the most right now. It's his best chance to get on the field after we drafted him, after we got Trent, already having McGlinchey. His best chance was at guard, so we threw him in there to get in that competition with Brunskill and Compton, and that's where he's needed to stay. And it's nice to have him as an option if things happened at tackle. We'll evaluate our whole roster at the end of the season because I think he has the ability to play both in this league, but he needs to work at whatever one it is to become a solid starter. And this year it's been at guard, and that's why he's having that opportunity right now at guard.
Kyle, Richie James was obviously played at the slot most of his career, and then had, in a pinch had to be played outside. He said he prefers being a slot guy, but clearly has that flexibility. What do you look for when you're evaluating guys in the draft and in free agency in terms of outside receivers? What are the qualities you look for?
Well, an outside receiver has to have the ability to get on top of people and run by people. So for me personally, it starts with a 40 time. But if you don't have that 40, there's plenty of outside receivers who don't have that 40 time. But you got to be able to still threaten people with the go route, whether that's with size, whether it's with your ball skills, whatever that is, just your savviness to get on top of guys. And if you can threaten people with the go route on the outside, then you have the ability to run every other route. But once people realize you can't run a go route on the outside, then people squat on you, then you can't go out there. That was my life story.
Kyle, obviously you're in the middle of a season and you're trying to win games, but when you have so many guys, so many key guys facing potential free agency, do you have to find a balance between, pushing them and wanting to win now and also evaluating how they're doing and what they could bring to the team in the future?
I think trying to do the best you can each week, every practice, I think that goes hand in hand with evaluating guys, what they are now, what they're going to be next week, how they're going to help us finish us out this year, and what they're going to be in the future. So I don't think I have to compare those things. Right now with so many guys out and just where we've been at, that's makes guys down a little bit. So my biggest thing on what getting guys to focus on is just getting better. And that's a cliche you say a lot. You get better or worse. But when guys are down, you better make sure you don't make it worse. And that's why we just started out of practice on Wednesday, that our goal was to just go out there and focus each person individually getting better. And I was really proud of the guys for that. We had a few low days after that Green Bay game, and sometimes it's hard to get back up for work. But guys came in that Wednesday practice. Guys were grinding. Thought we had one of our most physical practices yesterday on Thursday. In both of our team run drills, which was real exciting to see. And that gives me confidence in our guys that we can keep getting better. Hopefully we'll get a few guys back as this goes through the end. And to me, when guys just worry about that stuff, it helps us know what they are, how they respond in adversity, how they're going to be going forward. But I want guys who are always continuing to improve, whether you're a rookie or you're a 10-year vet. If you're not improving, you're on your way out.
Kyle, with Trent Williams and Brandon Aiyuk being out last week, probably a little frustration on everybody's part. How did they seem in practice? And with having a week off, did they have a little bit extra pep in their step? Was there a little bit more energy from those two?
Yeah, I think they did. I think both those are two guys in particular that I think were playing at probably their personal highest levels of the year. And they were really eager to get to that game. And you go through the week of practice and you kind of get surprised by it. So I think they were a little frustrated and eager to get out there on the football field, which was nice. Anytime they sweat or were breathing too hard, guys mess with them. They should have extremely fresh legs and be nice and ready to go. But it was just a few days that they missed. So I know they're happy to be back, and we're happy to have them out there.
Hey, Kyle, obviously you're significantly shorthanded again for this game. Everyone saw, nationally what happened against the Packers. The Saints look like, one of the greatest teams in NFL history against the Buccaneers. Obviously, everyone's kind of figured out what's going to happen Sunday. Do you, get into any of that, like, us against the world, no one believes in us, or do you not get into all that kind of mumbo jumbo?
It depends on the week. Sometimes, I try to keep it real with the guys, and I know no one's giving us a shot, and it's not like I'm going to sit in there and go give the best rah-rah speech ever that it's us against the world, and so that's why we're going to go out there and shock everyone. Guys love that challenge. Anything you do, it's always more fun to do something people don't think you can. So that is a motivation. That is exciting. But really what I said a few questions ago, everything I've been this week is I really don't care about much else except getting better. Whoever that is, whatever player it is, whatever coach it is. And if you can kind of narrow your thoughts to that, then you have a chance to do better. And the better you do, the better chance we have at winning. And then you add on the spot that no one thinks you can. And, I think that entices everybody. You always want to prove people wrong, and we know it's going to be a big challenge. But that's something that we're ready to go compete for, and that not just on Sunday. We've been working for this all week, and we'll see what happens Sunday. But our guys are going to go out there and go for it.
Robert Saleh said yesterday that the defense really responded well to the mini bye week and practiced extremely well on Wednesday and Thursday. Does that mean that the offense didn't practice well? How did the offense practice, and how did it respond to the mini bye week?
You didn't ask Salah how the offense practiced? All right, I thought the offense had a good practice. I mean, I think it's more of the intent of it. I mean, not we card stuff. It doesn't mean our stats were good out there. Not that we take them. It doesn't mean that we complete every completion, but it's more how you go about things. And after the tough loss, after a few days off, I mean, we've all coached a while, Saul and myself, and those are the times where it's like, hey, we got to get these guys up. It's going to be hard to get them going, and it wasn't that way. I'm sure I didn't hear Saul, but I'm sure that's why he talked positive about the defense yesterday. Because I mean, they on Wednesday and Thursday, it would have seemed, if you just watch guys' demeanor, watch guys the silent tape, it would look like we're working our butts off, and things are going well.
With Jaquowski out for the rest of the season, do you guys just roll with Marcel, or do you guys have some options that you worked on in practice as far as, whether it's Tarvarius or Jonathan Cyprian? How do you guys figure to play that beginning on Sunday?
Well, we got the same guys there, just losing Tart, so we work all the options with everyone. I mean, you'll see on Sunday exactly who we go with. But, we've had guys who play all the positions. So Marcel's done a real good job for us. Tarvarius has done a good job when he gets in. Jimmy has the capability to really play anywhere in the secondary. So, and New Orleans does a lot of different things. So losing Tart's a big blow because of the versatility and just the player he is. But we got some other guys who can go in there that we can mix around. So we do still have a lot of options.
Last one.
Two-part question. Is Trent Taylor's back injury related to the back issues that he's dealt with in the past? And the second part is about his position, whether, you haven't had a lot of consistency at that F position since you've been here. Has that been problematic, frustrating to you, and just not having, the same guys game in and game out at that spot?
Yeah, anytime you have to continuity is a big thing. I know you guys hear it a lot because it is true. Whether it's the receivers getting used to it day in and day out, the quarterbacks getting used to it, how you break the huddle, how you move, just the whole rhythm of an offense. So continuity is a big deal. Trent did a hell of a job his first year for us as a rookie at that spot. And then the next 2 years had some real bad injuries that really set him back. Worked his butt off to get back, to give him a chance to be in the league and help us this year. And that's where he started off the year, especially with Aiyuk out and Debo out. But Bourne ended up taking over our F role last year. About, I want to say week 9 or something. I mean, it took us a while with a bunch of guys in and out. Debo was coming on strong to start at our X. Emmanuel came in, took over our Z, and then Bourne took over our F. And from then on out, I feel like that's when our offense took off. We didn't change receivers. It was those three with Richie rotated in for them. But it was those three from that moment all the way to the Super Bowl. And that was, I felt like we got better each week over that. We had that for 2.5 games this year. Started out with Miami, but we weren't totally ready. Guys were just coming back. I really felt that versus the Rams. All right, we got 2 weeks in a row of our guys going, and I'm starting to feel it, and I think that's why we play a little bit better. And then you go into the third week with New England, it was the same thing. And I felt like that was what you saw. Guys getting better, the continuity coming. And then at the end of that game, losing Debo was a big setback because we lost him. Then you go into the next week, you lose Kittle and Jimmy and Tevin and Jeff Wilson. And then getting Aiyuk, losing him and Bourne right before the game last week. So, yes, the continuity's been off big time. And we got Aiyuk back. We got Bourne in today. And then hopefully we'll get Debo back next week, and then hopefully we can build off that and see how many games in a row we can get those three out there.
All right, thanks, folks.
All right.
Did you enjoy that video? Make sure to check out these other ones.